Hi, Jamie. I'm pretty sure we're live, guys. Yay. Hi, Miss Pat. Got a few things we're going to cover tonight. We're going to have some fun. This is such a cute card. Thank you for that sound check, Jamie. Appreciate it. I'm going to give it about another minute. Hi, Shirley. Now, my card, I'll probably cover it. I'll cover it when we get more people in here. I was inspired by Miss Jennifer McGuire. I was going to change up the card base a little bit, but hers was just so cute I couldn't pass it up. So I went with the gnome on mine too. Hi, Linda. Me too. I wish that Design Space Access, I wish that they had more gnomes than they do. I had to go outside to find a cute one. I did look in Design Space first, but I got a couple of options for you guys. There's Miss Louise. All right, guys, I'm going to play the intro. Everybody's coming in now, and then we'll just go ahead and get started. Yay! And here is our little project layout for tonight. This is a supporter only file, so if you are a Ko-fi monthly supporter or if you are a Patreon monthly or annually, or if you are a YouTube membership subscriber, Cutie Collector or higher, you have access to this file on the craftingwithapril.co site. Under the supporter tab 2020. I just want to pull up the site. I've done some revamping and I want to show you guys. I want to say thank you to all my supporters and my moderators. I couldn't do this without you guys. You guys are awesome. But I want to pull up, if I can get a new window here. There we go. Boom. I want to go over and pull up the site and show you guys a couple of things that I changed. I had several people not able to find the files. They didn't realize there was a drop down that came up under these headings. So I went back and I spread them back out for you guys. So these tabs where it says join Patreon, this will take you to the Patreon site. If you are not a supporter, you can click on that and it will take you over to Patreon so you can join. This will take you to the YouTube channel. This will open up the supporter files for you. It will show you the black box password and you will have to put that in. If you're a supporter, you have access to that password. But all of these files, all the way down to freebies, are for supporters only. So you guys have a mass of files there. These are the freebies tabs. You have to at least register and log in to get to these. And the file request, only 3 files are free at this time, and I'm sorry, 2. An earring file and the purse file. Sometimes on occasion I do give a file that's not exclusive to my supporters. I will sometimes give you one of those. And then you don't have to log in for the contact us. What's new is this group resource guide tab. You do not have to log in, you do not have to register, you do not have to do anything except click on that and it will open for you guys. And this is available to everyone. Hi Joyce in South Carolina. So this is available to all, and I've gone in just to make it easier because a lot of people don't see any photos or anything in the group files in Facebook, and it makes it hard for them to see where things are at. So what I've done is you can download the group guide right here. The resource guide has all these kind of cheat sheets and things like that in it. And over here, you can go to this is the first video in the Learning Design Space videos. Right here, you can click on it and watch it right there. Or you can click here and it will take you to the playlist that includes the entire series of Learning Design Space. If you want to refer to the group rules, we revamped those and changed a few things to give you guys a little bit more leeway and creativity and freedom in the group. So the group rules were revamped and right here. And if you want to go back to the group, all you have to do is click right here and go right back to the group. What's awesome about this page are the resources. If you want to find something and shop with me, because if you shop on any of these links, once you click this, I will earn a small commission. It will not cost you guys anything extra. Sometimes it might save you money in the form of group codes and things like that. But if you need anything from Cricut, Amazon, font bundles, a cherry on top, expressions vinyl, packing, shipping, heat presses, ink, printers from Best Buy, vinyl, software, sure cuts a lot. These are all the resources that I personally use myself. I then became affiliates with many of them. So that is why I show these up to you guys. And as a matter of fact, right here are your 6 free designs for the next 6 days. If you come in here, you will get those and you can see what is free for the next 6 days at Creative Market. I made that one live. I did that on any of them that I could. So it will automatically change every time that this runs out. It will refresh itself. You don't have to go and dig through Facebook to find that link. It's all right here. So everything right here, this is to So Fancy, but this is to a direct link to their freebies. And then this is to their designs for the week and stuff. Everything is in here. Dreaming Tree, Loves, SVG Cuts. Everything that I could possibly fit in here for you guys, I fit it in. And these down here under this line are not affiliates. I have never used Jiffy Shirts. I have never used Save a Cup. I have used the Stainless Depot and I was extremely satisfied. I just want you guys to know they don't have affiliate programs, but I have used the Stainless Depot. I forgot to put Johnson Plastics Plus, Sue? If you do sublimation and need blanks and stuff, I have used Johnson Plastic. It's JPP, I think. I forgot to put it in here. I will add it this evening so that it will be down there for you guys as well. So tons of resources so you don't have to scroll through the group. They're all right here at your fingertips, everything that you might need, and even a place to get back to the group. Okay? So if any of you guys know of something you want me to add on this page for quick reference, you let me know because this is going to be our reference page. So somebody remind me, please, to put JPP on there. I did forget them. It totally slipped my mind. They are not an affiliate. They will be down here at the bottom of the page, right down here. But I have used them. Sue has used them, and we were happy. So just want to make sure that you guys have access to everything that I have access to. Okay? So just a few changes there on the site. Another change that we made is we updated the Patreon page. I updated it. You might see this design. You may see the purple design of the new Elite group. So if you see that, I have added that perk for all of my supporters. It used to be called the Patreon group, and it wasn't doing much. We weren't doing much in there, and I want to change that. I want to revamp and get some things going. I've got some exciting things planned for you guys starting after the holidays, and we're going to carry it through the year. If you are a Ko-fi supporter, monthly or one time, you can get into that group. One-time support does not, it is simply just a tip and a thank you, but you can get in and join in on conversations and things that we have, but you will not have access to everything. You will not have access to the files. If you are monthly on Ko-fi, you will. If you are a cutie collector or higher on YouTube, you will have access to that Facebook group. And if you are a Patreon monthly or annually, you will have access to that group. I posted it up on both of the feeds, on Ko-fi and on Patreon, so you guys can find the link to the group there. And if someone wants, Sue or somebody, Linda, anybody wants to get the link to that group and post it in here, because I forgot to sign into chat for one, and I forgot to copy the link down. I think I might remember it. Let's see if I can get it to take. So if you're a member, there's the link to it. You must answer those questions. It is the only way that I can have to check and make sure that you are current and allow you in the group. And if they're not answered, it'll just be declined. Okay, so let's move over to and talk about the file. Again, I was inspired by Jennifer McGuire, and I kind of didn't really copy hers. She did her file with dies in a die cut machine, which you could totally do. But I wanted a design space file of this. I've got a couple of different kind of sliders, but I thought this one was super, super, super cute. And so I started putting mine together, and the more I looked at hers, the more I fell in love with it, with the little trees and the snowbank and the gnome. So I kind of recreated with my own images that same style card with the same kind of elements on it, because I was going to change it up and do a nativity scene and a couple of other things. And the more I stared at that gnome, it was so stinking cute that I just had to do the gnome. I had to. So kudos to Jennifer McGuire on that one. The kind of layout and stuff was hers. I did change out my sentiments and stuff from what she used. I had other things in mind than what she did. That being said, when you're doing this file, I did foil mine, but I can't share it without doing a bunch of extra steps and saving extra files for mobile users, because mobile users can't do foiling yet. So if you want to use foil like I did, you're just going to come in here to where it's all the draws, and you're going to go to your line type, and it doesn't matter if you're on your Explorer or your Maker. I happen to be on my Explorer, but you'll need to change your line type to foil and pick medium, bold, fine. And Jamie and I were discussing this. I ripped up a bunch of foil, and then she brought it to my attention, and I had totally forgotten. I used a really thin cardstock, and it didn't do anything but rip up my foil. So you need at least an 80-pound cardstock. I think I used a 65, and the foil tool didn't like it at all, whatsoever. So make sure you're using at least an 80-pound cardstock when you do this. I think I used 100-pound on this one because I did go with a medium. Medium is what I went with. I didn't go with fine, I went with a medium. So I went a little heavier with my cardstock on this, because it's going to get a lot of play too, so that was another reason. Oh, I'm so sorry you haven't been feeling good, Shirley. You don't have the Maker or Creative Living, but you have the Cricut Explorer. You can totally make this card with the Cricut Explorer. Now, you can make it with the Joy. You're just not going to have any score lines. You'll have to detach your score lines and get rid of those. You won't have those, and you can't foil, but you can write. So you can leave it on draw, and you can remove the score lines. But you're going to need to select everything and size it down just a tiny bit, okay? This piece here, I would just cut on a hand trimmer if you have the Joy, and I would stamp my image here because this is actually the outside of the card. Okay? So you can do this. You can resize these cards, guys, to fit your Joy. You're just going to have to shrink them down to fit on your mats. You're going to have to detach score lines and then put your score lines on there for yourself. Okay? Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Jamie. And I knew that because even when I tested it and did it, I even came to that conclusion but for some reason when I made this card, it just totally slipped my mind, and then I got all frustrated. So I will tell you guys a little bit about that. I had an extremely rare occurrence with my maker. She basically killed herself. She forgot her serial number, which really isn't a big deal. It's a rare occurrence, but I knew that they could probably fix it over at Cricut Support, so I called and they fixed it perfectly fine. However, in fixing that, and I was having some pressure issues before that, so I don't know if that was contributing to it, but all of a sudden it just went through the motions and stopped cutting altogether. So I had to switch over to my Explorer to complete this project, and I am mid-project of Wednesday's project. So Wednesday's project is going to be just a teeny tiny bit late because the maker, they've already shipped it to me, but it should be here no later than Wednesday afternoon. And so as soon as that does, I will finish cutting that project and doing the video and get that out for you guys. Okay? So just bear with me. I'm not behind because of any fault of my own. As a matter of fact, I was a week ahead until my maker decided to just give up the ghost on me. I have foiled on Cricut cardstock, Debbie. I have. Foiled beautifully. The little red box, the little red hanging box, and the card that we did, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe 5 weeks ago, was all Cricut cardstock. And it foiled better than anything I foiled. I'll be honest. I got a better foil result from it than I have anything else I foiled. Yeah, Angela, it was. I was like, oh, I mean, I've got a backup machine, but I can't do everything that I need to do on an Explorer. It's the reason I have a maker. So, I mean, I was in a little bit of a panic mode. I will be honest. I was more than in a panic mode. I was in a I'm crying tears mode. Because I was so far ahead, and then all of a sudden, bam, now I'm just stuck. So it was a weird thing. I did mine on the texture side, Debbie. I think Jamie and Marianne, myself, and somebody else, we foiled on the Cricut cardstock. I foiled on both sides. I didn't have a problem. Just make sure that you are selecting a medium or bold on those, and that you are using the exact tip that you selected. In other words, I think I tested it and I said something about it. I used the medium tip, but I selected bold. You can do that, but you may not get the same result that you were looking for. And I do more pressure as well. Yes, more pressure for sure. So over here, because Cricut doesn't give us a whole lot of options for gnomes, guys, I don't know why. I mean, gnomes are hot. They really are. And we just don't have that many. I mean, I can even clear everything out. We just don't have that many cute gnomes for the kind of project that I'm doing. We have these black. I could have probably changed this, but I didn't want the leaf in the hat. And did a little contour and added color and flattened them. So we have some drawing ones that we can do that with, where you can use contour. Does everybody know how to do that? This one's kind of cute. But this one was more Thanksgiving, I thought, because of the cornucopia hat. But I just couldn't find a gnome that I liked. I did find a couple of elves and a Santa in there that will work. And I put those in and I flattened those for you guys so that you could see how to do it. For those of you who don't know about your contour tool, and I know I've covered some of these things before, the card's going to go together really quick. So I want to make sure that I cover something from Design Space to teach you guys a couple of tips and tricks every week. Yes, Design Bundles has some awesome little gnomes. They do. They have a great selection. But if you're going to contour, and I think I can do it with this one, I'm going to try. If you have like a coloring page, let's see, can I change that to cut? No, fill. That's going to fill that in for me and change it to cut. So this image is not going to work out that well doing that, but we might be able to do a workaround. But usually you can take this and you can go in and you can duplicate it. I should duplicate it first. You can duplicate it and then you can go in and you can contour things out. Maybe I can get it to take those out. I don't know if it's going to work with these drawings. Yeah, it might work. I'm going to try it. You can see the stuff disappearing down here. But you're going to have to do this. It's a little bit of work, but you can go in and you can take some of these elements out. Like this. I took those out. And then I am going to duplicate that one more time, contour, and I am going to show all contours, and I am going to, I don't know if this one's going to do it. Well, I think it's just going to take away my lines. I'm going to try it anyway. Let's get a shape and get a square. I normally do this with an uploaded image like a coloring book page. See if I can slice it and get there. Nope. See, my lines disappeared. Anyway, I do have a video on how to do that. But what you're going to do is go in and you're going to do just contour out everything except the inside here. But the way these are drawn, they're connected. So it's not letting me do it. Let me see. Which one did I use that for? I think, can't remember what I used. Let's just go get one. I'll just go get one so I can show you guys how. I can get my new page to open. There we go. There we go. Let me just search. Okay, something like, let's go with this guy. I don't know. Let's go. That's got an open area there. This is what you want to watch for, is all this openness. When you're learning to use the contour features, this one looks better. Not crisp. Perfect. Okay, we'll just do these sleigh bells. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to save image as, and I'm going to save that on my desktop. Okay. And then I'm just going to close this out. So I've saved my photo. I'm going to go to new, and I'm not going to save any of that because I don't want to mess up the file for you guys. I'm going to go to upload and upload. And I'm going to browse or drag and drop. There he is right there, and open. So I am going to bring that in, and it's going to be a PNG. I've got to clean it up. I'm going to select complex and hit continue. I did change it to cut first, Jamie. It wouldn't do it. Something is about the way they put that one together. So I'm just going to get one I know will work. I'm just going to clean it up, okay? And I'm going to go in and I'm going to clean up all of the areas in white. You want to remove all of those areas just so you have nothing but the outline. So I barely made that one. Gonna have to increase it to get in there. You just want to take out all of the background coloring. And then we've got Santa sleigh bells down here, and I don't need that. So I'm going to grab my eraser, and I'm just going to erase that. Just get rid of it. And then I'm going to hit continue. And now you can see I can save this as a cut image, or I can save it as a print and cut. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to save this as a cut, and I'm going to name this sleigh bells. And then I'm going to put bells. And there's a bow in there, so I'm going to add bow. And I'm going to hit save. You want to name and tag, because if you don't name and tag, then that's your only chance to do so. So we're going to bring that in. And now you can see my contour is lit up. And I am going to duplicate this a couple of times. Okay, and I'm just going to pull them over to the side. I'm going to go in here to contour. And everything that I want to take away is going to be that outside edge right there. And then I'm going to take away the bells. I'm probably going to leave those holes red. Well, I'll make them black. We'll just take those out too. So basically, I just want all of the bows. Now, I'm not going to do this whole thing. I'm just going to show you guys how it's done, because it takes a little while to do these, but you can change these. It doesn't want to get there. It goes. You can change these up, and you can see I've eliminated everything there. All of that's going to be red, but you want to take out all of those areas. It might have been easier to hide all contours and just highlighted the bow back. Why don't we do that? So I want that, I want that, that. Doesn't want to give me that big loop. Where is it? I want that one. I'm going backwards. Is that it? No. Need that. Let me minimize it and see if it'll light it up. That's the bell. I want that piece right there, and it doesn't want to give it to me. Find it. You can scroll through here, and there it is, right there. Okay. Oops. That's weird. It's not going to give it to me that way. This image isn't going to do it either. I can slice this out with circles, though, so that's not a big deal. If you get one like this, you can always slice those out. But I wanted to make my bow area red, or this area. So you can go in and you can change the color. I have a video on doing this. This is not, I want that solid. I don't know what's up with our contour tool. Oh, there, maybe. Yay! I forgot to hide a piece. That's what it was. Still got one piece in there that shouldn't be there. So now I have my bow. Okay, I want to duplicate that, and then I can go in there and I can hide all contours and just get the background. And then I can change that background to be whatever color I might want it to be, maybe a gold, to put that behind. But you can see how it's starting to form and give me the colors that I want. And now I'm going to do it again, except this time we're going to change those and hide everything except the bell color. But if you wanted to leave this here, but I would probably do a silver here and probably silver on the inside of these bells. But then that's going to create your look for you. Once you have it all lined up like you want, you can align it and then flatten it for print and cut. And then that's going to give you a little bit of extra dimension to your projects and your flowers. But your contour tool will give you more images out of it than just an outline. Okay, so if you go in there and you play with it, and this one I would go in and I would hide everything except these little striped areas and the inside of the bells, and then overlay those in silver and flatten them all together. So there are tons of ways to get more images out of just an outline like this than the outline. Of course, you can always, too, if you just want that outline and you want to hide all contours and maybe say, do I print and cut with this in a blue and then this in a white? There are just tons and tons and tons of looks that you can get. Align, center, and flatten. So lots of things you can do, and all that's going to do is cut. When you flatten it like this, all it's going to do is cut that outside shape. Okay, it's not going to cut all those inside. It's just only going to do that outline. But you can get a million looks out of just a drawing that you find online or in Design Space. Now, like I said, some of them, if they've got an open area, you might have to close it up by welding in a little bitty line to close it up. If it's open right here, you might want to close it in just so that you're able to contour it properly. So lots of tips and tricks. So practice your contouring and changing up your images. Okay, same thing with text, guys. If you have something, say you bought an image off of Design Bundles and it said Merry Holidays and you wanted it to say Merry Christmas, you can contour out holidays and put Christmas in your own font and then weld it back together. So lots and lots of things you can do to change up your images. Does everybody understand what contour does? It hides cut lines. Does that make sense? It hides cut lines. If there are no cut lines like this, you notice contour is not lit up, and that is simply because you cannot contour out one single layered image without anything in it. And it's simply because that's the same thing as delete, because there's only one cut line here and it's the outside of that circle. So if I delete that cut line, I have no circle. I have nothing because I removed it. If I have a circle that's been sliced into two pieces, that's a different story. Because even though that is still one image, notice I have contour. Now I have the option to remove part of the cut line. Where before I didn't have the option because it was one solid cut line. You have to have a broken cut line to remove the cut line. All right, yay. If anybody has any questions, don't forget to ask. Put them in caps. Make sure that the moderators see and we'll get you an answer. We can come back and visit over here if we need to. So let's go over to the overhead and let's put our little card together. How cute is this? Because I flattened my guy. I found this at Creative Market, this little gnome. But super cute card. You're going to pull the tab and it's going to reveal a message right here. And I've got Deck the Halls with the toilet paper rolls. I put that in there. Why not? Gnomes are mischievous, right? So I thought that was fitting for this year. And I did foil here. And I just used my pen up here for this because it was going to get handled a lot. And you can put a pull ribbon on there instead of the word pull, anything that you want to do. This is basically just a simple card base for you guys to change up and do what you want to do with it. And then when you open it up, you have your written message. And I put this on vellum because I foiled the front of the card, which is hidden. You'll see that when we go to put ours together. And I had a little boo-boo on my card where I had stuck my tape for foilings. And I thought, why not just put a piece of that flocked vellum in there to kind of match the other side. So how pretty is that? This came from Stampin' Up! In the, it was a poinsettia flocked vellum paper pack. Shirley, yes and no. If it's something that you flattened, yes. If it's an SVG that you flattened, you can flatten any SVG in multiple layers into one layer and create it. That's what I did with this gnome. It was all in layers, and I just lined up all my layers and changed my colors to what I wanted them to be, and then I flattened them all together. But if it is a print and cut image, you can't reverse that one or make changes to that one. When you change it, it's just going to be a shape. Okay? I know, I love this vellum. I wish I had gotten several more packs of it. But this is going to be a super easy, simple card to put together. Now, that being said, I had some foiling boo-boos. You can see right there, it didn't quite take. My tape was in the way. And then I had a place right here where I had a place on my mat and it didn't take. I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to use my Cricut Candy Crystal pen, which matches that foil. And I am just going to, ever so lightly, just kind of fill in. And I mean, just very gently, very lightly. I'm just kind of dotting where it didn't take. And usually I would get much, much closer than this to make sure that I got it right. But I'm going to fill it in and get it there. So unless they're looking super, super, super close, they're not going to see it. Super easy. So you can always kind of touch up if you can get close to your color. If it's just a small place, if it's a big place, then you're really going to have to do it over. So when this cuts, and I've got something going on with my focus, guys. 1 second. I want to make sure you guys can see. I hate that jumpy. It had an update and I forgot to fix it. Okay. So this, when it's on the mat, is going to foil or draw here. This is the card front, okay? So you're going to fold this backwards than you normally would, so that ends up on the top. And I like to fold it both ways just to get a good crisp fold on this type card. Okay, and once you've folded that, then you can open it up. This is the inside. And in order, because we can't write on the inside and the outside at the same time, I did my sentiment on vellum. And I'm using art glitter glue. It dries matte and clear and is going to be less noticeable on vellum than anything else that I've used. And I'm just doing just a little bit of glue, not a lot. I'm using the fine tip applicator. Make sure I get the right side of my card. We're just going to place that down. Lined up inside. And especially against white, that glue won't show up hardly at all. If you can, I can't even see it at all on this card against the white. Now, if I did it on red, you would probably see it just a little bit. Okay. And then I cut another panel out of that flocked cardstock or vellum. And on here, again, I'm just going to go right around the edge. No need to go down in the middle or anything like that on this. It will hold. And then I placed it on that side. All right, and then you can just set this piece to the side. Now when you cut this, you're going to think that I messed up because this piece is cut out into one piece here, but it's intended to be away from it. So if yours didn't cut away or has a little tick on the end you need to cut, go ahead and do that and get that freed. Same thing here. Okay, these pieces are going to go together. The first thing you're going to do, you have a score line right here at this top edge. I'm going to fold that back. Just open it up and fold it back and give it a good press. Okay? And you fold it back. And now you've got a score line here. And you're going to, this is a valley fold, you're going to mountain fold here. And it should line up right there at that edge. And we're just going to give that a rub. And then you can open that back up. So you've got this little piece that looks like this. You're going to take this piece that you foiled and that got cut away, and we're going to glue that right to that edge of that cutout. It needs to line up as perfect as you can get it. Okay? Line it up really well. Take your time and get it on there. Perfect. Then you're going to take the other piece and we're going to place it on the same piece. And again, you want it to line up as perfect as you can get it. You don't want it overhanging on the sides or anything like that. So that when it's closed, you have your snowbank. Okay? And I even went as far right here on these little corners just to keep them from catching. Now, I didn't snip it much at all. Just kind of took my scissors and didn't cut away, but just trimmed, I mean, just like a hair, right off of that corner and this corner, just so it would allow it to smoothly open and close. Not enough that you can even see that I did it. Okay? Just taking off just a teeny tiny little bit. The next thing you want to do is get your pull card, and there's a score at the bottom, and you're going to valley fold that or fold it up towards you. Okay? Then you're going to place this piece right over the top and bring this into the center right here. And we're going to put glue just on that tab. And we're going to bring this to the front and stick it down. You can pull it up. There we go. Just so you can get in there. You want to make sure that it's flush with your table, that it's glued right to the back of that and it's even on the sides. You don't want that to be off at all. Okay? So when you flatten it, it should be just like this. And then if you hold it down and you pull this tab, it should pull up. Okay? That's all there is to this card, guys. Really. That's it. Then we're just going to flip it over with it closed. Okay? That's closed. Flip it over. And we're going to do just a thin line of glue. You want to stay away from your edge. If you want to use tearing tape or whatever, you can do that. You don't need it. The art glitter glue will work just fine. And I'm not going all the way up to the edge of that card there. Use my fine tip. Just get some glue on the sides. And again, you're going to line this up onto the front of the card. And you'll want to line it up perfectly at the bottom. And for me, it's easier if I open it up and just pull the card down, right flush even with the table, and then get my sides flush, and then make sure that that is straight and just close it up at the top. So now when they pull it, it reveals the message under. Okay? Now, if you want to add sentiment, you want to have them pull it up further, you can add a sentiment here. You can add a sentiment here. You can stamp and do what you want. Just make sure that if you're stamping your image instead of foiling, where I have this one set in the file, that your image is fitting into this space. So sometimes you may want to either block it off with your, do a light pencil score on it before you put it together and then stamp it, or put Post-it notes on the sides and stamp it if you're not using the drawing tool in Design Space. Just make sure you get it in there. How easy is that? Now I did a double on my little gnome, my gnome man. I kind of like the color that this one came out better. It was two different kind of cardstocks, you can see. One was very thin, and I didn't think that that was enough, so I did one in heavier, and it came out a different color. So I'm just going to glue the color that I liked right to the top. And so when you're thinking your colors aren't matching up, you can see paper does matter, because the ink absorbed into this paper. It was heavier, and it absorbed differently than this one did. I'm just going to glue that little guy together. I did not color the edges of these. If you want to do that, you can, but because the card had so much white on it anyway, I thought it would be just fine. Then you have your little trees. And these trees are different sizes, and I didn't realize that until I was putting mine together. So when you're going to put these together, make sure you're checked and you're putting the correct ones against each other. Art glitter glue dries matte and clear, so I don't care if it shows through the holes. If your glue does not dry matte and clear, make sure you put it on your green part with the holes in it and not on the red, because I'm going to be doing some more stuff to those. That is the right one. And I'll just show you. Here's the large one with that, and they don't line up. So make sure that you're getting the one that does line up to it. Got some chads hanging on there. Okay. You don't need a lot of glue for these. They'll stick pretty well. So what is everybody else working on? I know Thanksgiving is coming up. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm ready for 2021. Oops, I got a chat in there I didn't see. A wreath with holly leaves and mistletoe. Oh, I bet that's pretty. I'm partial to holly leaves, poinsettia, mistletoe, but I'm partial to flowers too, so that probably is why. I just love florals. Alright, so now we have all our little trees together. And you can lay these out how you want. Ornaments, Linda's on ornaments. Refinishing the table. Ooh, Marianne, that's a challenge. Now when I did my other one, guys, I kind of got one of my trees too low. But totally up to you. I'm just going to bring that one up right here. So when you're going to do these on the card, you want to raise it up and decide where you're going to go with it. And it can hang off the edge. It's perfectly fine. But you don't want to put glue up here at the top. So I like to hold mine on there about where I want it. Put my glue. Try not to get it off on the edge where it's hanging. And then come up under and do the stem. And trying to get my finger back there so I know not to go past that. Because I have that red cardstock liner, once you stick it down and you try to move it after that, it's going to leave a red residue. I accidentally got that one in the wrong place and I had a little boo-boo. Got most of it off, but you just want to be careful when you've got it lined. If you flatten it, you won't have a problem. You can wiggle it around. And then I'm just going to flatten that back down. And then we're going to go up under there and place that tree. I slid down on that one, but that's okay. How stinking cute is this? I just love that gnome. I'm missing a star. It's here somewhere. I will find it. So I'm using, I get these from Stampin' Up! And they're just like miniature glue dots, little bitty minis. Amanda Niemeyer is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. She's also a patron. So if you need something, if you don't have your own Stampin' Up! Person, let us know. We'll get you her link. But I'm just kind of picking these off and placing them on the top of the trees. And I tell you why. This paper is from Michaels. And if you use glue on it, it kind of warps and buckles. And I don't like the look of it. Doesn't matter what kind I've tried. And these won't do that. And they'll hold. And because they're so super thin, they don't raise up like the other glue dots do. Oops. Don't want it there. I want it right there. Okay. -1 star for losing a star. Oh well. I will find it later. So let's just move on with our little gnome. I'm going to cap my glue so it doesn't dry out here. And I am using some of the dark foam squares. And I'm just going to flip my gnome over and go right down there towards the edge. And then I'm going to grab a second one. And I'm going to go right up next to that one. And you could use a wiggle or whatever you want on that. You want to pull this up again and place him so that your foam squares are on the cardstock and he is above the Merry and Merry Christmas. And give him a good press down from the inside there. And you're done. How cute is that? Now I did add a little bit of liquid pearl and some Nuvo drops to mine. I did the little ball on his hat. With a little bit of liquid pearl, just a thin coat. And I didn't go around the edges so that you could see the little squiggly black line from my print and cut to define it. And then I used the Nuvo drops in honey gold. And I just picked a few. Nothing, I just went randomly and filled some of the dots on my trees just to give it some interest. You can do this before you put them on. Probably easier. But I kind of made this one where the lines were for the garland. I kind of filled those in to look like garland. And then that takes about 30 minutes to dry and you're done. How super cute. Hi, Joyce. I didn't see you slipping there. Love, love, love this card, guys. Lots of fun. You can put any images you want on here. Like I said, you could do Santas. You could do a nativity scene. Lots and lots of stuff. Does anybody have any questions about how that file goes together? I know we have a little bit of lag. Okay. I'll give you guys a second and we'll cover on. I'll just give you guys a little bit of a hint and a heads up for Wednesday's project while I'm looking for my gold star. Since I can't find a gold star, you guys give me a thumbs up. That's just as good, right? Which one? This is the one that's wet. I'm going to move that so I don't mess myself up. Wednesday's project is going to be an advent calendar. I'm not going to tell you what that looks like yet, but you will need 2 sheets of chipboard. 1.5 millimeter or the 2 is okay. If you're on an Explore machine, there you will have the option to use like cereal box doubled up, so you can use that. And then I am going to be using the 12 Days of Christmas by Graphics 45. I believe I got this from a cherry. I did get a cherry on top. I think that's where I got it. There's a link on my site for cherry on top. You could probably find it at scrapbook.com or on Amazon. I know you can find it on Graphic 45. But super, super cute, fun patterns, and it comes with a chipboard cardstock little punch outs. So you have those as well. Little fun pack. And 1 pack should be enough to do your entire layout with. You will need some Cricut cardstock too. I do have an option in there for people who have the 12 by 24 inch cardstock, and then I have an option in the file for those who have only 12 by 12. So you should be able to make it no matter what your setup is. I'm still looking for that star tooth. It will drive me nuts until I find it. I know it probably stuck to something. I kept up with it throughout this entire thing while cleaning off my desk and cleaning up my mess for the live. I had it. I sat down to do the live and it vanished. But that's always the way, right? And it's so tiny, I will probably never find it. I'll probably just cut a new one. But yeah, that paper from Michaels, it will absorb, but it's that gold foil in the packs that you guys get there. Ooh, more paper today, yeah. No, I mean, everything will stick. It'll stick to anything, right? It probably has a little static electricity in it from pulling, or sticky from pulling it off the mat. So, who knows? But this is the size of the boxes for that advent calendar. So you're going to be able to get a good amount of things in them, candies and all sorts of stuff. Something cut off the O. Yeah, that's, yep, cut off the O. I was talking to Sue. She sent me a message. She got it. Yeah, I'll find it when I sign off. But we got one that's finished, so you know it just goes on the top of each tree. It's not a biggie. We'll find it. It'll show up soon. If not, I can probably find one of my teeny tiny punches and punch one. Now that I didn't check, Shirley. I did not check to see if it stuck to me. And that could very well be. And if it fell on the floor, it probably stuck to my dog, who's always under my feet, and she might have ran off with it. Stuck to her. So I don't see it. And for once, my floor is pretty clean, so if it was down there, I would see it. Could always do my stars with some Nuvo drops too. So, all right, guys. So Wednesday we have, let me pull that up. Wednesday, I am going to be releasing the file and the video. It may be late. I might go ahead and release the file prior while I'm editing video. If you guys see it in there and the video is not there yet, I would hold off cutting my chipboard until you see me put it together and that. But you can cut the inner boxes. I'm just going to be covering on the video how to lay them out so that you get maximum bang for your paper, because it is going to take a little bit of paper for the inside boxes. So if you see it up, make sure that you just hold off your cutting until you're sure that you're cutting it like you want to. Then we will be live. I'm going to try to pop out a quick short video on Friday. No promises, but I'm going to try, because we will be going live next Monday. However, that will be the last live until the following Monday due to the holidays. If I can pop out a file on Wednesday, I will, but if I'm cooking, I may not be able to. But I will try. Anything special anybody's looking for? If you're a supporter, make sure you post it over in the group. Let me know. Tell me what you want. I have to know what you guys want. I can do projects all day long and figure out things that I like, but if I'm not hitting on what you like, I want you to get the most out of your subscriptions. So make sure you tell me what you're looking for so that I can put it in the works. Because sometimes it can take 2 or 3 weeks for me to get your project on the list. Okay? Especially during the holidays. Sometimes I can bump and move things around, and sometimes I can't because of supplies that I might need. So just make sure that you're telling me way in advance of when you need it so that we can get it going. Thank you guys. Please give a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you're watching after the live, or even if you are after the live and you want to go in and leave a comment, please do. And I will catch you on next Monday at 7 p.m. here on YouTube. Have a great night, guys. Thank you. Thank you to all my moderators and supporters. You guys are awesome.